Give me the first minute, and I'll return your life to you with a new clarity. The darkness that seems to follow you might not be a curse, it might be a rare voltage you're carrying, one that magnifies what you touch, tests what you build, and forces you to choose a code. We're going to move fast and deep, miss beast-level stakes with monk-level precision. Imagine the opening, a wind-lashed hill at midnight, a ruined temple with a single lantern that refuses to die. You stepping over a threshold as your phone glitches and a flock of birds erupts from the dark. We cut to a clock counting down from 9:59. Clear expectations will identify 7 signs that you're a dark chosen one, not a villain, not a victim, but a steward of a heavy current. We'll show how each sign can tilt toward chaos or toward mastery, and we'll give practices that domesticate the voltage without dimming it. I'll ask you to do tiny rituals live while watching, so this becomes a transformation, not just a story. The payoff at the end of this part will be abrupt and real. You'll set a boundary that changes the texture of your next week. No smoke, no fluff, just the feeling of your spine coming home. Sign 1. Your presence intensifies rooms. People feel seen and uncomfortable. Truths leak out. Superficial banter collapses into real talk. Secrets surface around you without trying. You've noticed it in elevators, dinners, even on calls. Someone says, "I don't know why I'm telling you this." That's the rare vibration. It's an amplifier. The risk is becoming addicted to other people's confessions because it makes you feel special. The wisdom move is installing the gate of consent. Before you hold someone's storm, ask, do you want empathy, perspective, or strategy? If they don't choose, you keep your field closed. Pair this with an anchor. Press thumb to ring finger, tongue to palate, feet grounded. In the first 3 minutes of our video, we'll show a montage of thresholds, a coffee shop conversation that goes unexpectedly deep, you pausing to ask the gate question. The person exhaling, the room settling. The point isn't to fix people, it's to refuse becoming a vacuum. Deep question for you. Are you drawn to intensity because you love truth or because you fear emptiness? Your answer will shape whether this sign becomes medicine or manipulation. Sign 2. You attract tests precisely at the edges of your values. The week you commit to honesty, a shortcut dangles. The day you choose sobriety, a celebration you can't miss. The month you vow to build slowly, a viral trend tempts you to fake it. It feels targeted because it is. Intensity searches for leaks. If your code has ambiguity, the world will push there. The reframe is crucial. Tests aren't punishments. They are proving grounds that emboss your identity into your nervous system. Practical drill, the triple oath. Write 3 one-sentence vows that you can audit. No claims without receipts. No yes that violates my sleep. No wins that cost my respect. Speak them once in the morning. Stand on them at night for 60 breaths. In the 3-minute mark re-engagement, an elder voice asks, what would you rather lose, speed or self? Then we stage a quick cut test. A glittering DM arrives. You verify it against your oath. You decline with warmth. And you immediately replace it with a sober action that serves your mission. The wow isn't refusal, it's redirection. Sign 3. You transmute pain into skill faster than peers. Breakups become boundaries. Layoffs become products. Criticism becomes calibration. People call you resilient, but it's deeper. Your system metabolizes chaos and extracts technique. The shadow is bypassed, learning the lesson to avoid feeling the loss. The practice is the crucible in 2 acts. Act 1. Naming without poetry. Write exactly what happened in 5 sentences. No metaphors, no villains. Act 2. Skill extraction. List 3 capabilities the pain forced into you: discernment, pacing, negotiation, and 1 boundary that would have prevented 60% of the harm. Then schedule a rehearsal where you run that boundary with a safe person. Mid-video intensity, we show a set of brutal truths scribbled on paper, then a simple boundary text you send. I can meet Tuesdays only, 2 to 4, agenda required. The heavier the pain, the simpler the boundary. Deep question: who are you when you are not loyal to your wounds? Sign 4. You are allergic to hypocrisy, including your own. You can smell when something's off, metrics inflated, promises padded, virtue performed for applause. The rare vibration you carry is like a bright black light that reveals dust. The risk is becoming a crusader who burns bridges faster than you build truth. The antidote is the 2-channel flame: speech and structure. Speech is a one-breath truth with no adjectives. This claim is unproven. Structure is the change that prevents the lie: a shared metric dashboard, a definition of done, an archive of receipts. If you can't operationalize the truth, you delay the crusade and build capacity first. At minute 6, our second re-engagement lands. The moment you tie flame to frame, a subtle peace enters the room because the truth now has a home. You get fewer dramatic takedowns and more quiet conversions. Practice the audit cue. If I can't measure it, I can't demand it. This channels your force into architecture that outlives your mood. Sign 5. You have a gravity toward thresholds, graveyards, ruins, hospitals, storm fronts, and liminal hours at night where creativity and dread braid together. Instead of pathologizing it, we create channels. Night isn't just scary, it's spacious. The move is the night bridge ritual. Set a 27-minute window 3 nights a week where you do 3 things. Capture 1 raw idea, voice memo or note. Complete 1 small loop you've avoided, 2 emails, a paragraph, a chore, and enact 1 act of silent mercy, anonymous gift, a prayer for someone you struggle with. Cleaning a shared space. You train the night to associate with completion and kindness, not doom scroll and spirals. Visuals for viral pacing. A clock striking 1:11, you lighting a small lamp, a notebook page filling, a sink cleared, a quiet smile. The rare vibration becomes a bridge between worlds, not a sinkhole. Deep question: when darkness knocks, do you invite it to help you build or to make you feel special for hurting? Sign 6. You magnetize power players and broken wings, sometimes in the same week. Leaders feel sharpened around you, the wounded feel seen. If you're not careful, you become the secret edge for the powerful and the unpaid therapist for the wounded. This is where boundaries become sacred tools. Install the 2 circles and a gate. Circle A is your mission-critical people, those you serve through your craft, your covenant, your code. Circle B is everyone else. The gate is an intake, a simple question and a simple price. For power players, the price might be radical clarity, documented goals, time-bound decisions, audits. For the wounded, the price is consent and self-responsibility. Do you want empathy, perspective, or a list of resources. If they can't pay the price, you keep the gate closed with love. We show quick cutscenes, a CEO sending a scoreboard, a friend choosing empathy, you smiling and staying intact. The wow factor is our field's coherence. You're generous and precise. The rare vibration turns from chaos magnet to order signal. Sign 7, you carry a cold calm that can easily drift into numbness. This calm is why people trust you in crisis, but if you're not careful, you use it to avoid joy. Food goes gray, laughter feels like acting, nature becomes backdrop. The antidote is awe and service as a daily vitamin. 3 minutes of sky, 3 minutes of breath, 3 minutes naming 3 specific people you're grateful for, and 1 concrete act of service that has 0 branding value. This warms your calm. Practical test. Calm should feel warm after awe, not empty. If empty, you're underved. Integrate a weekly play ritual deliberately unproductive, music in darkness, a 1-hour walk with no phone, slow cooking, stacking stones. Viral wow is subtle but potent, a time lapse of your shoulders dropping the weight as color returns to your face. Deep question, do you trust joy enough to let it calibrate your power? Now the viral spine. Title optimization is already a thunderclap. 7 signs you're a dark chosen one carrying rare demonic vibration. Thumbnail design. A hand hovering over 3 glowing symbols, a blade, a spiral, a lantern against a stormlit temple. First minute hook shows you refusing a glittering shortcut and choosing a vow, a candle that stays lit in wind, and a live boundary text that lands quietly. Thematic progression accelerates. We jump day to night, thresholds to rituals, tests to codes, so the viewer feels both the intensity and the containment. At minute 3, the re-engagement is the elder's question about losing speed or self. At minute 6, the second re-engagement is the architecture moment. Flame plus frame creates peace. Back half sustains investment by giving viewers a field they can try tonight. Gate of consent, triple oath, crucible, 2-channel flame, night bridge, 2 circles and a gate, awe and service. The abrupt payoff is you setting 1 boundary live that shuts down a leak. The prize is not a spectacle, it's the sensation of sovereignty arriving in your chest. Here's your 7-day start, engineered for momentum without mania. Day 1, write your triple oath and stand on it for 60 breaths. Day 2, run the gate of consent in 1 conversation. Day 3, perform the crucible on a fresh irritation and install 1 boundary. Day 4, enact the 2-channel flame on a micro lie in your environment and build a small structure to support truth. Day 5, run the night bridge ritual and ship a tiny artifact you're proud of. Day 6, map your 2 circles and create the gate intake as a note you can send. Day 7, practice awe and service twice and log how your calm feels. Keep a ledger called proofs, record outcomes, not vibes, boundary held, artifact shipped, person helped, lie converted to process. This builds trust in yourself faster than any affirmation. Before we close, let me ask the uncomfortably precise question: what win in your recent past would you delete if it meant recovering your respect for yourself? Would you do it? If your answer is yes, do it tonight and replace it with a heavier, quieter move aligned with your oath. If no, then write the price of keeping it and be honest about who pays. This question isn't about shame. It's about choosing the road that leads to a crown you can actually carry. Abrupt ending with a payoff. On paper, write 3 names: a person to whom you owe a boundary, a project that deserves a clean ending, a craft block you'll honor tomorrow. Send 1 message now enforcing the boundary kindly. Close your eyes. Whisper, "I keep my voltage. I keep my vow. I keep my humanity." Blow out the candle. That silence you're hearing is your life re-entering the room. We begin with a live calibration, power in one hand, vow in the other. If part 1 named the 7 signs, part 2 turns them into a repeatable engine. The first minute is a quiet stunt you can perform right now. Put your phone in airplane mode, place it face down on the far side of the room, and light a single candle. On a blank page, write 1 sentence that describes the voltage you carry in the simplest terms: "I amplify truth and expose leaks." Under it, write 1 sentence that describes your vow: "I will never trade speed for self-respect." These 2 lines will conduct everything we build. Expect clarity without cruelty, intensity without addiction. Our pacing is tight: 1-minute decisions, 5-minute resets, 10-minute builds. We're not trying to impress your nervous system, we're teaching it reliability. If you stay with me, your field will go from dramatic to dependable, and that's when the right doors open by themselves. The quiet prize waiting at the end of this part is a legacy artifact, something you make tonight that works for people you'll never meet. We convert your rare presence into a stable field with the lighthouse switch. Presence that intensifies rooms can either be a spotlight that burns or a beacon that guides. The switch has 3 positions: clarity, consent, containment. Clarity is your role statement said before engagement: "For the next 20 minutes, I'll be a mirror and a map." Consent is the gate of 3 choices: empathy, perspective, strategy. Containment is a boundary clock visible to both of you and a closing line that returns power. You choose what happens next. Practice this twice this week with low-stakes conversations before using it in high-stakes rooms. You'll notice the drama drain because the container got strong. The voltage stops frying and starts lighting the path. Viral pacing moment: quick cuts of you setting a timer, asking the gate, listening with still hands, closing with that single sentence. Even on camera, viewers will feel their own nervous systems downshift. Deep question: if no one ever thanked you for your guidance again, would you still offer it? If yes, you're ready to carry this sign without needing a fix of gratitude. Next, we harness the tests at your value edges with the oath stress test. You've written your triple oath. Now we try to break it on purpose in safe practice so it won't break you in public. Pick 3 likely temptations you face in the next week: a trend jump that dilutes your message, a high-status meeting that violates your sleep, a harmless white lie to make a metric look clean. For each, write the exact refusal you will send and the redirection step you will take immediately after. Example: thanks for the invite. My creation window is protected this month. Here's a resource I made that fits your audience. Then schedule the redirection into your calendar so your body knows an alternate path already exists. When the live test hits, you're not improvising under adrenaline, you're executing under oath. At minute 3, we re-engage with the elder question: what would you rather, lose speed or self? Now we answer in action by sending 1 refusal live. You'll feel the internal clatter quiet as your nervous system learns you keep your word, even when no one knows the script you declined. Your pain to skill transmutation becomes architecture through the crucible to protocol pipeline. Take a fresh bruise, missed opportunity, messy miscommunication, a trust crack. Run the crucible, naming without poetry, then skill extraction. Now translate the extracted skills into a protocol someone else can use. If you learned scope clarity the hard way, draft a 3-step scope block. Write the objective in 1 sentence. Define done in 3 bullets. Confirm constraints, time, budget, resources in 1 minute. Publish it as a free template with an example. You just turned your scar into a bridge. The viral wow is humble but rare. We screen record your template being used by a stranger in another city to save their week. That's the footprint of a chosen one who understands stewardship. Deep question: are you willing to be bored while building what will set others free? If yes, boredom becomes devotion. Your hypocrisy allergy evolves into measurable integrity with the flame to frame method. Choose one area where you feel heat metrics puffery, sloppy scope, ambiguous promises. Speak the one breath truth and then install a frame. If the heat is overblown metrics, frame it with a living dashboard. Define counted metrics, what you track automatically, claimed metrics, what you declare publicly, pit and causal metrics, leading indicators you train. Share your definitions with your team or audience. If the heat is blurry promises, frame it with a promise ladder. Level 1 is free and tiny but guaranteed. Level 2 is paid and useful. Level 3 is premium and rare, but each with explicit criteria. Record a short video walking through the ladder so your charisma is attached to clarity, not hype. At minute 6, our second re-engagement lands as an unexpected side effect. Anxiety drops because you no longer carry the weight of persuasion. The frame tells the truth for you. People who wanted glitter drift away. People who want gravity step closer. Your draw to thresholds and night hours upgrades into the night anvil. The night bridge ritual from part 1 now becomes a forge for artifacts. 3 nights a week for 27 minutes, you do. 1 seed capture, 1 micro finish, 1 mercy. Once a week you add the anvil. In that 27-minute window, you refine a single tool until it's ready to ship. Definition of done, notes polished, example included. The rule is no perfection done beats dazzling. Pair it with ritual cues, the same tea, the same playlist, the same lamp. Your body will begin to salivate for focus at that hour like clockwork. The result after 4 weeks is a shelf of tools that reduce chaos for you and others. Checklists, prompts, scripts, runbooks. The wow factor is a wall of artifacts that continue to work when you sleep. This is how chosen ones become lighthouses without burning out. They turn voltage into devices that hold the light. Your magnetism for power players and broken wings demands precision boundaries so you don't become a silent source for the powerful or a sponge for the wounded. Install a 2-gate intake. Gate 1 is friction, a brief form or note that requires clarity. For leaders, what outcome are you accountable for in 30 days? For the wounded, do you want empathy, perspective, or resources? Gate 2 is price. Leaders pay with documentation and scheduling discipline. The wounded pay with a small self-responsibility action before meeting. Journal 1 page, take a walk, sleep. If someone won't pay the price, the gate remains shut. This isn't cruelty. It's kindness that refuses codependence. Practically, create templates for both gates so you can respond in under 30 seconds. You move from bespoke emotional labor to principled service. Deep question. Who would I be if I stopped rescuing as a way to feel needed and started building as a way to feel useful? And now we warm your cold calm daily so it doesn't calcify. We upgrade awe and service into the radiance circuit. Morning, 3 minutes of sky, 3 minutes of breath, 3 names in gratitude. Midday, 9-minute reset, eyes closed, shoulders dropped, 1 sentence aloud from your oath. Evening, a small act of unbranded service that no one can applaud. The circuit completes daily. Awe regulates your voltage, oath aligns it, mercy directs it outward. Measure your calm by warmth. Can you smile softly without effort? Can you taste your food fully? Can you play with a child or a song for 5 minutes without thinking about outcomes? If yes, you're radiant. If no, you're efficient but starved. Efficiency is not evil, it's just incomplete. Radiance is the completion that keeps darkness from devouring its host. Now we stitch this into a format that travels and compels. The title remains, 7 Signs You're a Dark Chosen One, carrying rare demonic vibration. The thumbnail is a hand over a lantern, blade and spiral in a storm-lit temple. The first minute shows you writing your vow and refusing a glittering shortcut. Thematic progression. Lighthouse switch in 2 scenes, oath stress test in 1 live refusal, crucible to protocol in a time lapse, flame to frame with a dashboard reveal, right anvil montage, 2 gate intake screenshots, radiant circuit and fast, intimate cuts. Re-engagement at minute 3 with the elder's question, second re-engagement at minute 6 with the nervous system piece when frame meets flame. The back half offers a 7-day sprint that concretifies everything and culminates in a live legacy artifact drop. The abrupt payoff is an on-screen counter ticking the number of hours your artifact will save others this week. The prize is invisible but real, compounding trust. Here's your 7-day sprint. Day 1, lighthouse switch twice, 1 personal call. 1 work chat log how you felt before and after. Day 2, oath stress test, write 3 refusals and redirections, then send 1 live. Day 3, crucible to protocol, turn a fresh bruise into a template and ship it. Day 4, flame to frame, install 1 dashboard or promise ladder. Day 5, Night Anvil, complete 1 tool from seed to ship in 27 minutes. Day 6, 2 gate intake, publish your form or note and save the responses as evidence. Day 7, Radiant Circuit, run morning, midday, evening and write 3 sentences about how your calm feels. Each day ends with paid in full. Keep a proofs ledger, boundary held, artifact shipped. Lie converted, mercy enacted, calm warmed. After 7 days, read it aloud. Your voice will carry a different weight. Let's address the 3 sabotages likely to appear. 1. The glamour of being misunderstood. You'll be tempted to turn quiet authority into a performance of "no one gets me." Remedy, return to usefulness. Teach something tiny. 2. Revenge projects. When slighted, you'll draft a hot take disguised as wisdom. Remedy, hold for 48 hours, then convert anger into architecture, policy, template, boundary. 3. Compulsive generosity. You'll start giving beyond capacity to prove you're not dark. Remedy, Tithe the generosity to your oath. You give from surplus, not from survival. If you ignore these, you'll stay busy and hollow. If you obey them, you'll become rare and restful. Here's the deep question that can rewire a decade. If you could not be celebrated for the next 5 years, but could be undeniably useful to the right 500 people, but would you choose it? If yes, your path is clean. Build the ledger, ship the artifacts, hold the gates, warm the calm. If no, admit it, you're still paying devotion to applause. Then adjust your vows honestly rather than pretending. Honest ambition can be sanctified, dishonest humility rots. Abrupt ending with a payoff. Set a 10-minute timer. Choose one bruise you're still chewing on. Write the 5-sentence naming without poetry. Extract 3 skills and 1 boundary. Turn it into a simple template with an example. Publish it where someone can find it tomorrow. Then stand on your vow for 60 breaths. Whisper, I turn voltage into vows. I turn vows into vessels. Blow out the candle. Listen to the quiet. That quiet is the sound of your future becoming heavy enough to hold the crown. We begin with scissors and a signal. If part 2 taught you to convert voltage into vows and artifacts, part 3 turns your private coherence into a public field that invites the right allies and refuses the wrong bonds without theatrics. The first minute is a visceral scene you can stage tonight. Tie 3 thin threads from your chair to your desk, your door, and your phone. Label them with a pen, approval, urgency, secrecy. Sit, breathe. Cut them one by one. Each cut is paired with a sentence, I serve my code, not their claps. I choose pace over panic. I tell clean truths without hidden deals. The expectation is simple and fierce. We will identify the hidden chords that siphon your rare vibration, sever them with ritual and policy, and then broadcast a signal that summons allies who share your weight. Our pacing stays sharp, 90-second severings, 5-minute systems, 10-minute alliance rituals. You're building a life that does not need you to always be strong because your systems, people, and promises carry the load. The payoff at the end will be sudden and quiet. You'll send one invitation that begins a long alliance, and you'll feel relief rather than hype. Hidden chord 1 is the unspoken deal with applause. The chord whispers, if they approve, I exist. If they ignore, I shrink. You've already practiced the lighthouse switch and the evidence ledger, but this chord can creep back through metrics. Sever it with the praise firewall. Write a 72-hour policy for any public release. No comments, no DMs, no vanity metrics. For those 3 days, you look only at 2 numbers: utility delivered, downloads, completed checklists, hours saved by your tool, and integrity kept. Did you follow your definition of done? After 72 hours, you allow feedback from your circle A only. Pair it with a no-swipe ritual. When your thumb reaches to scroll, you place the phone down and read your oath out loud. The wow is internal. Anxiety drops because your worth is welded to your vows, not to velocity. Deep question. If applause were permanently delayed by 6 months, would you still ship on schedule? Hidden chord 2 is urgency theater. It steals focus with false fires. Must reply now. Last chance. The window is closing. Sever it with the 2-gate delay. Gate 1 is a 48-hour hold for any decision that affects your identity, money, or calendar beyond a week. Gate 2 is a checklist you run before saying yes. Does this serve my red rope sanctuary's sleep, creation, conversation? Does it fit the promised ladder? Is there a reversible trial? If a request fails any question, you reply with a no script or propose an alternate that respects your time. Synthesis looks like a slow channel, 1 day a week where you do essential but unsexy work documentation, training, refactors at half speed. On camera, we do a slow sprint, 25 minutes to write a definition of done for an artifact while a countdown ticks. The thrill is in refusing adrenaline and still producing gold. Deep question: who benefits when you rush? Who suffers? Answer in names. Hidden chord 3 is secret curation pretending neutrality while quietly shaping outcomes to protect your image. You say I'm just asking questions while steering the narrative. Sever with transparent framing. Before you weigh in on a hot topic or a team debate, declare your stake and your limit. I'm a builder with bias toward documented proof. I'm not an expert on X. Here's what I know. Eve and am testing. You now speak with clean context. Pair this with a correction protocol. If new data disproves you, you correct publicly within 48 hours with receipts. That move takes away the dark leverage of secrecy and replaces it with earned trust. The second re-engagement happens here at minute 6. Watch how quickly grounded allies appear when you start correcting yourself with grace. The vibe is rare, safe, sharp, humble. Hidden chord 4 is the savior loop. You get meaning from rescuing leaders from their chaos and the wounded from their pain because your field is strong. But unbound saving breeds dependence and resentment. Sever it with the ally criteria and the anchor task. The criteria are 3 yeses, shared values. They sign a code similar to yours, shared pace. They can honor a calendar and a definition of done, shared accountability, or they accept audits. If any is missing, they are a guest, not an ally. The anchor task is one small, essential act they must do consistently without you run a daily stand-up, maintain a dashboard, or ship a weekly artifact. You look for people who self-ground. Keep a small roster of names who pass the criteria and earn invitations to deeper work. Alliance is earned through cadence, not charisma. Deep question: are you recruiting mirrors for your ego or partners for your mission? Hidden chord 5 is charismatic drift, the part of you that starts performing your own wisdom because it wins you rooms. The fix is evidence over aura. Install the receipts ritual before any high visibility moment. Show a concrete before-after. Name 2 limits of your method. And point to a student or team member who achieved results without your presence. Offer the stage to them for 2 minutes. This cuts the cord that ties your value to your personality. Movements that survive are movements that decentralize. On screen, we give a mentee the mic. They teach your template better than you. Viewers feel the baton pass. That's the wow moment no one else fakes, because it costs ego and pays the future. With cords cut, we broadcast a clean signal. Your signal is a triad, a vow, a vocabulary, and a velocity. The vow is your 1-sentence oath. The vocabulary is 5 phrases that encode your values: gate of consent, definition of done, night anvil, 2-channel flame, radiant circuit. The velocity is your cadence feast window daily, slow channel weekly, legacy artifact monthly. Publish a one-page charter that includes these three in it. Now anyone entering your field can tune quickly. The right people resonate, the wrong ones bounce. You're not gatekeeping, you're frequency keeping. This is how you summon allies without seducing them. You're making your life legible to those who can carry weight with you. Now we convert setbacks into systems so your movement doesn't need your constant watch. Choose one recurring failure, late projects, scope creep, burnout spikes, boundary breaches. Run the failure to frame loop. Step 1. Log the last 3 instances factually. Step 2. Name the weak link, unclear scope, unclear owner, unclear stop. Step 3. Build a minimum viable structure, a one-page run book, a shared checklist, a stoplight rule that triggers a pause. Step 4. Train one person to run it without you. Step 5. Audit it 2 weeks and 4 weeks. Record the run book. Put it where it can be found without asking you. Movements collapse when knowledge is trapped in the founder's head. Your job is to keep pouring the founder's edge into public tools. It's not romantic, it's regal. Allies are summoned, not chased, through offers that serve their duty and protect your body. Create an alliance offer that is heavy and clean. It has 4 parts: scope the mission, state the cadence, define the audits, and write the exit. Scope is one sentence: we will build X for Y within Z constraints. Cadence is the rhythm, weekly stand-ups, monthly artifact, quarterly review. Audits are the numbers and moments that tell the truth. Exit is the graceful goodbye clause that blesses departures before conflict requires them. You send the offer with a line: if this delights your duty, reply with your anchor task by Friday. Watch who answers with action. Those are your people. The rest will enjoy the show but won't carry weight. Love them, do not lean on them. Let's build your movement's nervous system so it breathes when you rest. You need 3 circulations: knowledge, care, and correction. Knowledge circulates through the builder's library, your artifacts organized, tagged, and licensed for reuse. Care circulates through the mercy ladder, clear ways people can receive and give support without bottlenecking you. Peer check-ins, resource lists, small bursaries handled by a rotating steward. Correction circulates through the audit circle, a small group empowered to call nonsense and repair drift using your charter and promised ladder. You step in only when escalation reaches your defined threshold. The systems are light but real. They keep warmth in and leaks out. We stitch this into the viral arc, so viewers don't just feel inspired, they acquire a pattern. Title and thumbnail still punch. The first minute shows the cord cutting with inked labels and explicit sentences. At minute 3, we re-engage with a live 72-hour praise firewall. We ship an artifact, block comments, and track utility and integrity only. At minute 6, the wow is the mentee teaching your tool better than you. The back half shows the alliance offer sent, the anchor task returned, the first stand-up run without you. Abrupt ending. You switch off the lights, step outside, and the work continues inside. The audience sees something rare, a leader resting while the signal runs the show. That image will haunt them in the best way.